said you intend to support him and his nomination for Defense Secretary. Why?
Well, because he's a quality individual. It was interesting. I did contact people that he worked with at Fox, who gave him glowing recommendations in terms of their work with him and his integrity. But I think having a war fighter, somebody who's been in the trenches, understands exactly what our war fighters go through, I think having that perspective and an advocate at the top of the Defense Department would be a good thing. He can hire the other talent that he's going to need for that, but I think just that alone, his ability to recruit, I think will inspire young men and women to join the military, to join a lethal force to defend this nation, to root out all the woke, DEI, all that crap that unfortunately has been infiltrated into our military by the Biden and Obama administration. So he's focused on the right mission.
You also met with Scott Brissett today. What was your impression of him this morning?
Oh, top-notch individual, highly knowledgeable. I'm really looking forward to working with him. We talked about making sure that we don't allow a massive tax increase on the American public in 2026. But as we're looking at that and preventing that, also, what can we do to simplify and rationalize the tax code? Really enjoyed that. We talked about trade and tariffs, how we need to come up with some way to discipline China, people that don't abide by trading rules. But at the same time, very focused from my standpoint that if we do impose tariffs and that does create problems for Wisconsin manufacturers and farmers, that they'll be very sensitive to that and figure out what we can do to mitigate the harm.
Have you heard about any potential impact specifically on Wisconsin companies if it comes down to?
Well, we just know what happened to Harley Davidson. Again, tariffs are a double-edged sword. I mean, I understand that they are necessary to discipline people who are not abiding by trade rules. They can be used as leverage, for example, to secure our border. President Trump did it very effectively in Mexico. So it'd be nice if we had a world in which everybody engaged in free and fair trade without any tariffs whatsoever, but that's not the world we live in.
You clearly are in favor of President-elect Trump's tariffs plan. What do you say to those who have some concern, not only your constituents, but just nationally as well?
Well, I share those concerns. And I would say that President Trump understands those concerns as well, which is why he tried to mitigate it by returning payments to farmers as well. But again, it's a complex issue, it's a complex world. We're trying to deal with it.
Birthright citizenship is guaranteed in the 14th Amendment. President-elect Trump and you are on the record wanting to eliminate it, but numerous bills over the years have failed to gain traction. What kind of support and obstacles do you see in trying to change the Constitution in order to remove this?
It all depends on how birthright citizenship is actually applied. I mean, people leave out the "and subject to the jurisdiction thereof." Kind of hard to say exactly what that means. I mean, should that really apply to children of people who've come to this country illegally? It certainly doesn't apply to diplomats, for example. So again, I would say that has not been fully vetted in the courts. But to me, I think it's insane. We have birthright citizen tourism in this country. It is abused all the time. It's an incentive for people to come into this country illegally. We need to end that incentive. So again, we are one of a very small number of countries that actually allow birthright citizenship. I think it's something we should seriously take a look at. I would like to see us do away with it, quite honestly, and set up a functioning and robust legal immigration system.
Just a couple more questions. I'd like to ask about DOGE, or Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are considering cutting all foreign aid. Do you agree with that?
It's a pretty broad question. I'm very supportive of what their efforts are going to be. We need out-of-the-box thinking. We need a paradigm shift here. In 2019, we spent $4.4 trillion total. $4.4 trillion just 5 years ago. Last year, we spent $7 trillion. Spending has gone up 55%, while our population has grown 2%. There's no justification for that. We need to look at that, and we need to dramatically reduce spending. And again, that's going to require out-of-the-box thinking.
Anywhere specifically you'd like to see cuts?
All over the board. Certainly during reconciliation, we can focus on mandatory spending other than Social Security and Medicare. We increased other mandatory spending by almost as much as Social Security and Medicare went up over the last 5 years. That is a result, is a real focus of what our attention ought to be during reconciliation.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.